Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, it is class 12th business studies, and today we are going to know that what are the different techniques of controlling. Controlling, as you know, it is the process of bringing about conformity of performance with planned actions. जैसे हमने कुछ प्लान बनाया है किसी काम के लिए और हम देखते हैं कि हमारा प्लान जो है उसके तहत हमारा प्रोसेस जो है, हमारा काम जो है, हमारे वर्कर जो है वो उसी के तहत चलते हैं या नहीं, यानी द प्रोसेस इज गोइंग ऑन in accordance with the plans that we have already made to achieve the organizational goals. So this process is known as controlling. So today let us know that what are the different techniques of controlling. Dear students, there are various techniques of controlling. That is the managerial control, because it is the manager who is controlling authority. The various techniques of managerial control, they have been classified into two categories. First is traditional techniques and second is modern techniques. You have only to know here the different techniques of this controlling. So first let us know that what are the traditional techniques of controlling. Among the traditional techniques we have personal observation. As you know, that a manager personally observes the activities, the process that is going on. He just sees that what are the workers doing, whether they are going in accordance with the these organizational goals, whether they are going at the right track to achieve these organizational goals, the target that we have fixed. So this is known as personal observation, when a manager personally observes the activities. The second is statistical reports. Just he doesn't personally observe things, but he trusts the statistical reports, that whatever the reports come to him, that this is the performance that has been shown by the workers, that has been shown, this is the profit and loss account, or these are the sales accounts, or different things that come to him, he has to trust them. So he controls the statistical reports. He sees in the reports that what are the different deficiencies that we are going to face, what are the different weaknesses that we have suffered during our previous report, during our previous budget or anything. So it is statistical report that he has to rely upon the reports prepared by others. This is traditional technique. Second. Third is break-even analysis. Students, you may be knowing that break-even analysis means when an organization starts from no profit, no loss. So he has to start at this notion, this idea that the firm has no profit, no loss in the previous process. So this is another technique. It is traditional technique of this controlling the organization. That is break-even analysis. Zero balance, no profit, no loss, no minus, no plus. It is zero. And then budgetary control. This budgetary control, it is important nowadays also, because in this process of controlling the organization, it is that in this technique different budgets are prepared for different operations in an organization. But what a manager has to do, he has to compare them with the actual performance and taking necessary actions for attaining organizational goals. So he has to see that the budget that we had prepared, whether it has given the fruits, whether it has given the results that we had just expected from this budget. So he has to compare, he has to control the budget, but at the same time he has this budget, it needs to be flexible so that necessary changes can be made, because at some time the different kinds of finance it is to be needed by the firm, or we can say that working capital is needed, at different steps. So it needs to be flexible so that the finance can be arranged at the different steps during the process of these preparing these products or during the manufacturing processes. So it is known as budgetary control. But later on we will see that different budgets are there. It has different kinds. Just we see sales budget, production budget, material budget, cash budget, capital budget, research and development budget. But here we have already know this, that the techniques of controlling that the previous these traditional techniques of controlling, among them there is budgetary control. Here it is worth mentioning that this budget must be flexible. It must not be rigid, because at different times during the manufacturing process or any process we need finance in different terms to fulfill the needs of this process. Then we have modern techniques. So these are four or their traditional techniques. Modern techniques are, first is return on investment. So this is a modern technique, that whatever we have invested, it is technique of control. Whatever we have invested, whether we have got the expected returns or not, the expected returns from our investments, whether they are available with us, whether we have achieved them or not. So this controlling manager, he has to see, and it is a modern technique. Second is ratio analysis, because he has to see different ratios regarding these returns, regarding the returns on investments. He has to see the ratio. First, if he had expected that the ratio will be 1:2, that we have invested 1 and we have expected 2, whether it fulfills the ratio or not, whether the ratio is at par with our expectations or not. So this is a modern technique of controlling this. It is modern technique of managerial control. Third is responsibility accounting. So this is another. It is modern technique of this controlling. It is responsibility accounting. So we are in this technique, we are just giving a responsibility to a particular person in a particular department, and then we are just examining him, supervising him, whether the person has fulfilled the responsibility or not. So he is accountable for his responsibility. The person whom we have assigned a responsibility, he is accountable for his responsibility, and this is known as a modern technique of this controlling. And then we have management audit. It is simply that a controlling authority, a manager who is the controlling authority, he manages the things to audit. So audit is different supervisors, different workers, different accountants, that what is the actual position, what are the different returns on our investments. So he has to see. This is known as management of audit. Then we have this consumer protection, these different programs, or we have management information system. So this is another technique of controlling. So every manager, he collects the information. This is known as it is modern technique of this controlling, management information system. So manager, whenever, whatever, from whom he wants to collect the information, he can get it, and he can control his action during the process. So this is known as management information system, in which a person, a manager, a supervisor gets the information from any responsible person from any organization. Now, as I had already told you, that budgetary control, and this I had told you that there are different kinds of budgets, just sales budget, production budget. Sales budget, this type of budget is only related to the sales in an organization, that how much sales we have got, the revenue from the sales, whether they are expected, whether they are better as compared to the previous sales. And production budget, this is another type of budget. This is related to the production, that how much we have incurred on this production process, and what are the returns from them, whether we can control this, whether we can eliminate some of the wastages. Then we have material budget, the raw material that we have got for any type of production. This is how much we have incurred on this collection of materials, buying of materials. So the budget related to these materials, it is known as material budget. And then we have cash budget, that how much cash we have incurred and how much cash we have collected. So this is known as cash budget. What is our profit? What is our loss? And then we have capital budget, the capital that we had incurred, capital which we have utilized in our organizational process. It is known as capital budget. The budget which is only related to the capital. It is said that it is estimated spending on fixed assets. The capital that we have incurred on fixed assets, just land, building, materials. These are known as fixed assets, and the capital that we have incurred on it for buying these assets, it is known as capital budget. And then research and development budget. This is the budget that is research, that is related to the research in any type of organization, because research, it is the lifeblood of every type of organization. Research, it is a continuous process. And then we have to see the development of the work. So this development of work, the budget incurred on the development process, it is known as development budget. So research and development budget, it is another type of budget which is to be used by any type of organization, and the control on it, it is known as budgetary control. Now let us see that what are the advantages of budgetary control. Advantages. First, it helps in coordination. Second, optimum utilization of resources. So budgetary control, it coordinates different departments. Purchase budget, or we have sales budget, or we have capital budget, cash budget. These are interlinked. Every department is connected with other department. So this budgetary control, it helps us in coordination between the persons, between the departments. So it is helpful in that very case. Second advantage of this budgetary control is optimum utilization of resources. The resources that we have got, that we are going to utilize in any type of organization, we have to allocate the resources. So we have to use them as per our needs, but we have to use them in optimum way, best possible way, to get the highest returns from these resources. We have to eradicate the process of wastage. Because these resources, they are in a limited manner. They are not so much that we will waste them and they will remain forever, because some they cannot be reused. We cannot reuse some of the resources are very much vital. We cannot reuse them. So we have to use them in an optimum way. Then third is it is motivating employees. So employees can be motivated through budgetary control. And then we have help us in attaining targets. What would the targets that we have fixed? This budgetary control helps us to attain these targets. Then last we have facilitates management by exception. So the management is to be facilitated, because we are stressing on the operations. The operations that deviate from budgeted standards. So the standards of budget that we have already fixed, whatever deviations are there, the management or the manager gets facilitation from this budgetary control, that he can eliminate this wastage. So it is facilitates management by exception in the organization. So these are different advantages of budgetary control. So today I told you that what are the different techniques of controlling, and then what is budgetary control, and last, what are the advantages of budgetary control. So thanks. This is enough for today.